traitors and snakes. Before you know it, the followers of Elijah Muhammad killed the followers of Malcolm X, murdered him, killed him, and they split up because they had no brotherhood, because they didn't know that Israelites are forbidden to not have brotherhood. So they fell. Black Panthers, what happened in the Black Panthers? The Black Panthers had the faction on the West Coast and the faction on the East Coast in Harlem. Who can guess what happened? They split and then they shot each other. They began to kill each other. They started to rob drug dealers for money and kill drug dealers. Then the West Coast began to hate the brothers on the East Coast, and they began to kill each other and shoot each other, and they're gone. And they had sex with white women like it was going out of style. The Black Panthers were heavy into having sex with white women, heavy into it. The Nation of Islam were heavy into murder, especially right here in Philadelphia on 52nd and Market. They were insane about murdering people. You should go through and watch some of those videos and read some of those tapes about Mosque number 12 and all of the people they would murder. It's one story where they went in and killed someone who hated Elijah Muhammad, who spoke against him. They killed him. The woman was pregnant. They cut the baby out of her stomach, took the baby over to the sink and stabbed the baby. Then one of the murderers said, listen, man, why are you doing that? We were sent here just to kill them. Why did you cut the baby out of her stomach and kill the baby? The guy said, because this baby would have grown up to hate Elijah Muhammad. So the baby had to die too. You can go read all of this and look this up for yourself. They did. Mosque number 12 was selling all of the heroin you can imagine in Philadelphia. All of it back in the 60s. That's the conscious community. The people who left Mosque number 12, now they're in the conscious community in Philadelphia and opening up, Black and Nobel bookstore and a ton of, conscious drug addict, weed head nonsense. They all, floundered and fell. And now they just come together for debates and talks and lectures and a ton of goddamn talking and book writing and book selling. And that's that. Because without fixing yourself, knowing who the white man is irrelevant. He's the devil, but who are you? Are you the people who sell drugs? Are you the people who lie? Are you the people who steal? Are you the people who murder and buy and sell prostitutes? Because if you are, what profit does it for you that the white man is the devil when you are evil yourself? Right. The UPK, we know who we are, and we know who we are not. I pray you understand that. Go ahead.
The precept of Proverbs 29:12. Mm-hmm. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
That's one good one. And I'll take it. Anything else, Abun?
Brother online, we kept getting cut off. But brother online had asked earlier, are the gator shoes that Christians wear, are they lawful?
They're unlawful. Gator shoes are unlawful. Is he from Detroit or Chicago? Brothers in Detroit and Chicago love gator shoes. It's their culture down there to wear those pimp and preacher shoes. Those shoes are unlawful. Gator shoes are unlawful. Why? Because you are touching the skin of a dead alligator. And touching his skin is unlawful because an alligator is unlawful to eat. Why is he unlawful to eat? Because he hath not fins or scales. And for an animal to be lawful to touch, dead, or to eat in the ocean, in the rivers, in the lakes, he has to have fins and scales. Turtles are unlawful. Alligators are unlawful. Catfish are unlawful. Clam, shrimp, lobster are unlawful. You get it. Go ahead. Please.
Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 11. They shall be even an abomination unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses in abomination.
That's the perfect precept. Give him a hand. You shall have their carcasses in abomination, meaning their dead body, you think is disgusting and you won't touch it. Gator shoes are an abomination because it is the carcass of an unclean animal. Everybody gets it. I'm getting texts about this feed on here now.
Yeah, it keeps cutting on. I got it up now. I just rebooted the computer, sir.
Okay. About. I'll give you a second if you need it, all right?
Select, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, we're back up now, sir. It's going smoothly. I just had to restart the computer. Back to this, sir.
Okay, let's go to the precepts, right?
Come on.
All right, Mark, can you come here for a second? Do I have questions online?
Last one. There was a question. There was a question about Zechariah 3:9, but I can't recall what it was on because everything got deleted.
If anyone has any questions, type in right now before it goes bad again. Hi, Mark, please come here for a second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
You wanted us to cover the story about the sister that got shot?
Yes, let's go. We'll go through that. Okay, just to make sure everyone knows about it, right? This happened, I think, in Fort Worth, Dallas. Fort Worth, Texas, right?
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. This happened in Dallas, right? There was a neighbor who noticed that her neighbor's door was open. So she called the police. Now, this is important. She did not call 911. She called the auxiliary. What's how you say that word? Auxiliary. Say it again. Auxiliary police number, meaning it's a number that you call for the police when it's not an emergency.
Right.
You just want a cop to come and check on something. No big deal. You're just a little concerned. She called that number. She did not call 911 because she saw her neighbor's door was ajar. The police came. The police did not have their sirens on, did not have their lights on. Why? Because it was not an emergency. 1 second. It was not an emergency. So because of that, the police did not have his sirens on. The lights were not on in the car. The police just came quiet up to the house. The cop saw that the door was ajar. He saw it. Now, as is police protocol, he didn't walk into the door. He looked around to the side of the house without going in, just in case there was some danger.
So I could add to it. He never declared he was an officer. I'm an officer. We got called to your house. Nothing.
There was no lights on, so the woman inside didn't see the lights. She didn't hear any siren. She didn't even hear him say, "I'm a police officer," because he didn't say it. He looked in through her window. You get my point? Like, imagine the door being open right here, and a cop looks into the window, sees a person. The cop said, "Put your hands up, 1, 2, and shot her." Within 2 seconds, this is not an exaggeration. Put your hands up, 1, 2, shot. And he killed her.
So I was trying to add, he didn't declare he was an officer, so she's coming, she's looking like, who the hell is this outside my house? She's playing video games with her nephew. She's like, who's this outside my house?
1, 2, she was dead. 2 seconds. There's a video. That's why everyone knows it was 2 seconds, because they timed it. Because there's a video. She looked out the window, she sees the cop. He says, "Put your hands up, 1, 2, shoots her." And she died. And that's that. The police are authors of senseless violence. Do you understand?
Right.
That is senseless violence, Ahba.
So I can add to it. It's from 19 minutes ago. It says, officer who fatally shot woman in her own home arrested on murder charges.
Give him a hand. if they convict him, it's a goddamn miracle. If he does not beat that charge, it is a miracle. It is extremely difficult to arrest a cop, or I'm sorry, to be more specific, to convict a cop because of their rules. In the policeman's manual and their protocols, they are allowed to use deadly force if they are reasonably afraid. So now juries have to decide if this is a reasonable reason to be afraid, right? With that devil who shot that brother, the jury felt sorry for her. Why? Because they believed she was afraid. And remember, she cried so much. She cried so much. Oh no, she was scared. She was scared. And so remember, they're white. And they look like our God. They look like the gods we've worshipped since we were babies. And that white man gets up there and starts to cry. If he says there were a rash of break-ins in that neighborhood recently, oh boy, it's starting already. Did he have reason to be afraid? Well, guess what? His partner got shot 6 months ago. His partner got killed when he pulled over somebody. That neighborhood, there's been shootings every weekend in that neighborhood. Did he have a reason to be afraid? Guess what? Being a cop is a very difficult job. It's the worst job to have, and they protect us. There are first responders, and they have a very difficult job, not guilty. And that's that. Anything else, Abun? Now you need your precepts, right? The police are the perpetrators of senseless violence. Right. Senseless. I'll tell you another story. It happened to me recently. I hate to bring it up, but I went out on my back porch. I looked out my back window up, and there was some young Jake with dreadlocks standing on my goddamn back balcony. He's standing out there. I'm in the goddamn kitchen. This happened, I think, 3 weeks ago. He's standing out there, and I could feel my Judite demon. I could feel the thing in me starting. I quickly told my wife to go get my gun, which I always do. I said, but I could feel it. I didn't want to wait. So I was in the kitchen. I grabbed that butcher knife and I just went outside. Right. And so I said, who the fuck are you? I start yelling at him outside. Right. And he's looking at me terrified. And then he walks away. And I said, who are you? What are you doing up here? What do you want to do up here? Why are you up here? And he looks afraid. But the more he looks afraid, it's making me think I should stab him. That's all I can think about is I should go over to him and cut him because he's afraid because he must be she was trying to rob me. And then I hear a voice downstairs of someone else down under the goddamn balcony. I started losing it again, telling him to come out right now. And as he did not coming out, I'm yelling at his friend that I'm going to kill this cat up here if you don't come out right now. He comes out. I see him and he says, we're here to see the girl next door. There's a 16-year-old girl next door whose life is going down the wrong path. Right. And she's 16 and hot in the tail. And they said, we're here to see her. As I continue to yell and threaten, she comes out from under the steps. And I tell her, you better be careful. Y'all better be careful. And I go back in the house. Now, I'm not a cop. I didn't go outside and kill him when I saw him. I didn't go, what are you doing out here? 1, 2, bang, and kill him. I asked who the F he was. What are you doing here? Do you know anybody that lives here? Why are you over here? Do you understand that a cop does not do that? Right. A cop does not say, who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you here? A cop saw a face in the window and killed her. That is senseless violence. And it's like that not because, here's the real truth of the matter. Cops don't kill because they have to. They kill because they can. You understand? They can, meaning a cop is training, going to the range, every day thinking he is Buckshot Malone, thinking he is some badass cop, and he's training, waiting for the opportunity to kill, not the moment that he has no choice to kill. He's saying, I was called here. I don't know who it is. They're dead. Because he knows that he can kill someone in that situation, and he has been getting away with it since when? The 1800s. Since they wore 10 stars in Texas, and they could murder and kill and lynch without retribution. And it's been going on that long. That long. A cop killed Emmett Till. The police killed Emmett Till. They came. Emmett Till wasn't kidnapped in the middle of the night. What happened to Emmett Till in the middle of the night? According to his family, he was what? Use the word. Who knows? He was arrested. He wasn't kidnapped. Emmett Till was arrested and then found dead and mutilated and grotesque. Cops are the perpetrators of senseless violence. Violence that is unnecessary. That's what I mean by senseless. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why don't you say, hey, who are you? Come out here with your hands up, like in the goddamn movies. And what is all of that garbage on that belt for? Right. You got all of that mess all over your belt. What is all of that for? So many times I want to ask, what is all of that? You got a giant heavy flashlight. You got a baton. You got a stun gun, a heavy flashlight that's made to bust black people over the head with. What are you carrying that mess for? For what? Like, why even have it? It is senseless. It makes no sense. Drug crime in the street makes sense. Do you understand? If we're fighting over a street corner and drug money, if you stole my package and I'm trying to kill you, at least it makes sense, Ak. Do you understand? The Crips and the Bloods, it makes sense. Somebody killed somebody's cousin. Why are you two fighting? Because they killed my best friend. For the life of me, I don't understand why the cops shoot people like this. What in the F are you doing it for? Like, what is your problem that you have to shoot a child when you pull up to a park and you see a 9-year-old with a gun? They killed, what's that brother name they killed? Tamir Rice in how long? 2 seconds. For what? Jesus Christ. I get the Crips and the Bloods. Years of beef and drug problems and murders that go back and forth. I get the vice lords and the gangster disciples. Years of you murdered my cousin, you murdered my best friend. Why does this cop shoot this woman in this window? It's senseless. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why? Because the so-called white man is an animal and he doesn't do things for a logical reason. Right. He murders because of his what? Instinct to murder. Give me he is a deaf adder. You can look up deaf adder when I gotta get ready to go. It's an instinct. It's not, well, she might be a burglar. Because if she might be a burglar, Lord knows we could find out. If you say, who are you? What are you doing here? But he won't say it. He just kills this 28-year-old girl. Listen, they should pay. Lord knows, Lord that sits in heaven. They should pay. They should pay. They should pay so bad they never want to pay again. And the only way to make that happen is to get off of weed. It's to get off of crack and heroin and lying and stealing and being a goddamn hypocrite. Anyone that wants to join the UPK, you better know this. Don't come into this school trying to be a sinner the way you were in the world. Because if we don't increase the number of the righteous, these cops are going to commit senseless violence against us for years to come. If we don't increase the number of the righteous, of people that say, I'm not going to lie anymore. This is what I don't want in the UPK. I don't want people that are the people that are in the IUIC. A ton of secret keepers. That's what's in the goddamn IUIC. Like that another story that came out this week with Joy Morgan. You know about Joy Morgan. That happened over in the UK. Joy Morgan was married to an African. The problem is this African already had a wife. And since he already had a wife, his marriage to Joy Morgan had to be a bun? That's what they call it, fornication. And since the IUIC believes that a man can only have one wife, Joy Morgan was committing fornication by sleeping with that sister's husband. So their marriage had to be a secret. They had to keep it secret. They couldn't tell anybody because it was wrong. So Joy Morgan got killed. She got killed because they had to keep a secret. Brothers, please believe that. And wait, let me talk to the sisters first. If your husband is telling you that your marriage is a secret, your husband is a coward. Right. You understand? If your husband is saying, baby, we married, but give me some time before I tell everybody. Everybody shouldn't be in our business. If somebody asks you who you're married to, just tell them that's on the hush-hush, on the need to know. It's a secret. Your husband is a punk and a coward. Any brother that tells a woman that is a bitch. He's beneath contempt. And for the life of me, I don't know how a black or Hispanic woman hears a man say, keep our marriage secret, and doesn't. You telling me a black woman would do that? An Hispanic woman would hear, a black woman in the UPK. Now I can see how some fake Israelite would do it or a Christian would do it. I, of course, couldn't understand how a sister in the UPK could ever do something like that, which is why our sisters would never do anything like that. And the fake Israelite groups, they hide things. And here we don't hide things. We don't have secret marriages. Well, how secret is it going to have to be? Is he going to have to kill you to keep it secret? Does he have to strangle you and dig a hole and put your body in a hole so that no one knows he had another woman? We don't keep secrets in the UPK. We are not a fake Israelite group. We don't do that. And the more you try to keep secrets, the more you try to hide your hypocrisy, the more the cops will murder us, because we are not increasing the number of the righteous. I'm
Yes, like I had your scripture you asked for, sir. This is Psalms 58, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the death adder.
This is talking about the so-called white man. His poison is like the poison of a serpent, man. What does a serpent's poison do? It kills you. He's a murderer. That's what it does. They are like the what adder?
They are like the death adder.
They are like the what adder?
The death adder.
They are like the death adder. An adder is a poisonous snake. That's what an adder is. But this adder is a deaf adder. Deaf meaning what? He can't hear. So you're screaming, don't shoot. I got my hands up. I got a permit for this gun. Please, no. Brother, he doesn't hear any of that. He can't hear it. He's deaf. He is like the deaf adder. Go ahead.
That stopped her ear.
She stops her ear. She doesn't hear you. You listening to the tape, waiting for the cop to yell out something to hear a response that might make him not kill. He's not listening for that.
Right.
He ain't listening for something that might make him not shoot. He's looking for the opportunity to shoot. He's not waiting to hear a response. When he said, well, if a cop shoots you 2 seconds after he says, put your hands up, you don't have time to put your hands up.
Right.
Let's time it real fast. Somebody count to 2. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Count. What? You're dead. You damn sure don't have time to go, what? You're dead.
Right.
Who is that? You're dead. What? Is that a cop? You're dead. Wait a minute. Who? What the, you're dead. You hear a sound outside? You're dead. You're dead unless you go 1, 2. So 1, you might make it. 1, 2. What? You're dead. Go ahead.
A lot of black people, they'll say what, even if they heard it.
It's kind of human nature. It's not black people, it's people. Right? What white man, put your hands up, huh? A human says, why? I'm playing video games in my goddamn house.
Right.
What is happening here? You sure you got the right house? I was bringing groceries in from my car. My door is open. Are you about to kill me? I'm dead already. It's senseless violence.
Right.
Sister. And that's another sad part, because here's what it's coming to. The lady was trying to be a good neighbor. The lady didn't call 911. She called the auxiliary number for the police to make sure her neighbor's house was safe. I'm not sure if she had her neighbor's number. I don't have any of my neighbor's numbers because they're in the world. So I don't know. Maybe she had her number. If she had it, she might have called. Do you have all of your neighbors' numbers? You see the problem? So you might see if the door is open. Maybe it's nothing, but you're trying to be a good neighbor. You don't want your neighbor's house to get robbed. You might just call the non-emergency number just to have them check. You just got your neighbor killed. Because calling the cops to help your neighbor could get them killed. You understand? Like you could be murdering your neighbor because you don't want someone to murder your neighbor. Your neighbor could be in there getting robbed, tied up, right, at gunpoint. So you call the cops. You just killed your neighbor because you called an animal to help your neighbor when this animal is going to kill your neighbor. I mean, if you're bringing groceries in from the car, your door might be open, right? If a cop comes up and your door is open, you're going to get shot. That's the problem. There's all kinds of reasons a free woman might have her door open. Maybe her door is open because she feel like having the goddamn thing open for 5 minutes, right? Maybe it's hot. Maybe she can't afford air conditioning. Maybe she got her door open because she letting the dog run outside to use the damn. Maybe she just wants a door open like any human being who's paying rent might want a goddamn door open. But if she does it and a cop is there, she's getting shot. It's senseless violence because he's a snake. He's an animal. You can't make sense of it. You can't do anything to make him stop. There's no complying enough to make him stop. He is there to kill you, and that is that, because he gets in his car every day thinking about the opportunity to kill. He wants to do it. It's an instinct like a tiger or a dog. What will you do to stop him? He has to be stopped. You can't talk him out of it. There is no talking him out of it. Talk a goddamn leopard out of eating you. March. Why don't you march? March until the leopard stops chewing on your foot. There ain't no marching that stops it. Vote until the leopard stops eating your arm. Keep voting until the leopard stops chewing on your goddamn neck. There is no voting or marching or talking that'll make him stop at all. He has to be stopped. And that's why we get off of weed, get off of drugs, stop having secret marriages like in these fake Israelite groups that have secret women they having sex with and tell the stupid bitch that she can't tell anybody. If your husband tells you that you can't tell anybody that you are married, you are a stupid bitch. Right. You're absolutely dumb and stupid that you would let this brother have sex with you and then tell you it's secret and you sit there and keep the goddamn secret. So would you eat pork for him? Huh? You so lonely. Right. The man tells you to keep our marriage a secret. Okay. Well, would you eat pork for him? Would you eat shrimp for him? Would you do anything, whether it's righteous or not? So some man tells you keep the marriage secret. You do it, you're a dumb bitch, and your husband is a coward. And that's what happened in that purple group.
Right.
Things like that don't happen in here. I pray you understand. Go. Yes, he killed her. He at least was afraid she would tell. She didn't tell, but he was afraid. That's the problem with having a husband that's a bitch. Because if he's afraid that she'll tell someone, what will he do to make sure you don't? You understand? What if he thinks you will tell? Like, remember, in IUIC, if you cheat on your wife, it's fornication. They'll kick you out. He has to keep it secret. What will he do to keep it secret? Huh? We know what he do. Kill her. Now she's dead. And now he believed his secret was safe. We don't keep secrets in here.
Right.
Some of you out there, you done got this woman, you broke the 1 year rule. So now you got to keep it secret forever. So now you can't tell anybody. Tell somebody. What the hell is your problem?
Right.
You can't make a mistake and admit you did it.
Right.
What do you think we're going to do? Beat you to death?
Right.
You made a mistake. Say you made a mistake. Confess it. That's what the Bible says. You went and broke the 1 year rule. I know your wife was irresistible. I know you had to have her. No problem. Just give me my dowry and shut up.
Right.
Give me my aggravated dowry now because you stole a woman. Pay the dowry, pay the increase, and go on and congratulations, and now you got a wife. Just don't come to me when she nag your head off your shoulders or ruin your life because you didn't wait for her to be in the school 1 year before you had sex with her.
Right.
Just admit a fault. Why is that such a goddamn problem? You made a mistake. What? You married her, you shouldn't have. You told her she was all this is because of Facebook usually. You're on Facebook, you love her so much from her picture, or she liked your posts, or she took a picture you think is irresistible. Both of you are two lonely ass souls. You're so goddamn lonely that you can't stop yourself. So instead of waiting a year, you start inboxing her for pictures. Then she go out and flip out 2 breasts on you to tempt you. She flip out 2 of them flapjacks, put them on a picture, show them to you. Then y'all sending naked pictures back and forth. Then you have sex. And then in the bed, you go, listen, we got to keep this on hush-hush for a little bit until I can tell everybody. So we don't tell everybody. And you sitting there so happy that your days of loneliness might be at an end. You go, okay. And then you send the stupid bitch to a barbecue, a high holy day. And the brothers, this is the funniest thing. You send her to a high holy day. She eating Yahweh Shemalitha. Oh, you see, she knows she in the truth. Oh, shalom, sis. You married Khan. Khan, who's your husband? It's a secret. Bitch, get out. It's a secret. Okay, no sweat. What can I do for you? Well, see, my husband, he don't love me. He don't call me. Can you help me? Sure, I can help you. But it's a secret. So I can't tell you. Yeah, can you break down John 14:2? Sure, I can. But it's a secret. So I can't tell you how to break that down. Can you help me with my mother's problems and my child molestation problem? I could. The problem is it's a secret. So I can't tell you. Bitch, get out. If you're going to keep secrets, what in the hell are you doing in here? Don't be in here. Go to church. That's the home of secrets. The preacher has secrets. The deacons have secrets. The ushers and forget about that choir, Jesus Christ. There's so many secrets on that choir. Why would you come into a place that is trying to increase the number of the righteous? A place that wipes out hypocrisy. If you still want to keep secrets, didn't your child molester tell you to keep it a secret?
Right.
Isn't that what he said? Didn't he say, you better not tell anybody? So now you marry a husband that tells you the same thing. You're a dumb bitch. And your husband is a coward. Surely you can just come talk to me about it if you disagree. That's all. But you won't talk to me about it. Why? Who can guess?
Secret.
It's a secret. So even though I called your wife a bitch, I just did it. Everybody heard me, right?
Right.
I just called your wife a bitch. And you won't even take me to counsel because it's a secret.
Right.
Your wife is a bitch. You can just take me to counsel. Reading on, you know I'm not supposed to call my brother's wife a bitch. That ain't right. That's wrong. General Yohana doesn't like that. Your wife is a bitch. Now you can take me to counsel and prove me absolutely wrong, but you'd have to reveal the secret though. Can I move on? We can't keep secrets and not get shot by the cops.
Right.
If we continue to molest children and the child keeps the secret, and then you keep the secret of your molestation, if we continue to secretly smoke weed, if we continue to steal from your friends when they're not looking and sleep with his wife when he's at work, the police will never, ever be stopped by the Most High God. The police will continue to murder us because we have not the Lord's protection. If you want to live, then you're going to have to show the Father that you want to live. I pray you understand.
Right.
Where am I at, Abun? Let me know if I'm done here or not, Abun. I'm sorry, I'm any more questions? I'm wrapping it up now. So did I give you the precepts? Hold on. That deaf adder one you need. Okay. Am I missing a topic here? Okay, hold on. Also, you can go to oh, these are good. Isaiah 59:11.
Sir. Yes, sir.
We're good to go. With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Barzal.
ISUPK security announcements. First, I'd like to make an announcement that we will be closing the Feast of Tabernacles this Sunday. This Sunday, bring come with, spend time with your family, get drinks, the food, and we're gonna shut it down in the Most High Christ. Security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from their head to marry, ties, which is a commandment. You'll find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verses 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashra, meaning tenth in Hebrew. Meaning, so if you get $10, you get a Lord $1. You get $200, you owe the Lord 20, and so forth and so forth. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the teacher, priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatever so amount you would like to give. Like we said, the holy convocation will be this Sunday, closing the Feast of Tabernacles. Bring drinks, we're going to set it up and do it for the Most High Christ. Announcements, remind Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black. Boots, shirt, pants, hairband, and scarf. And with that, I imagine, which means to stand. We're going to give the brothers a courteous salute. Men of Israel, Amadim Shabbat, I imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Barak, Dam, Yahshmatan, sorry, we're going to give the sisters a courteous salute. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I imagine, Barak, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh,
Appreciate it. Yes.
Mark, thank you very much for today.
Like, yeah.